Fun fact, in the 17th to 19th century, you could be punished for playing bad music. Hey, I'm Alex Lam, and in this episode of Stories of the World, we'll be talking about the medieval Shame Flute. In the past, they didn't have the luxury of noise-cancelling headphones, or headphones that could be plugged into instruments, and soundproofing wasn't even researched until the 19th century. So for some people, the problem of bad musicians was a very serious issue. Let's think about it. Back then, musicians would probably be traveling from town to town, busking in the streets. The locals would be forced to listen to anything that they would be playing, from beautiful music to ear-piercing rubbish. It was such a serious issue, someone invented the Shame Flute to try to ward off these bad musicians. So let's get to the story. The Shame Flute dates back to the 17th century and was used as a public humiliation device in countries such as Austria, Germany, and Switzerland. The contraption was usually made with iron in the shape of a clarinet, which is kind of weird because it is named the Shame Flute. It has a neck clamp on one end and 8 slots for fingers on the middle section. So what would happen is they would lock the Shame Flute around your neck and clamp your fingers down in the holes, making it look like you're playing the Shame Flute. They would parade you around town or chain you up to a pole in the center of the town so locals can verbally abuse you or throw stuff at you, which includes, rotten vegetable and rocks. And sometimes they would even do both. They would parade you around town for a bit, then chain you up to the pole. And in severe cases, they would even strip you naked before doing any of this, which is crazy. The Shame Flute was believed to be used from the 17th century to the 19th century. It was also believed to be used to punish minor crimes as well as other busking activities such as juggling and dancing. But to be quite honest, it doesn't even seem like a really bad punishment. The only thing I'd worry about would be how hard they would clamp your fingers down. Like if it cuts off circulation, then, that's absolutely gonna suck. Now I feel like they should attach it to the face. You know what I mean? So it looks like you're actually trying to play it, attaching it to the neck. Meh, your arms can relax and whatnot. But what I would recommend is getting rid of the Shame Flute entirely and replacing it with cymbals that are locked to your hand, right? Like giant cymbals, and then depending on the degree of the crime, the longer your hands would be, locked to the cymbals. Like, you wouldn't even be able to eat or sleep or drink. You know what, man? I think that's a good idea. I'm trademarking that. Alex's Symbols of Shame. Currently, there's a few original examples of the Shame Flute. One is in the Medieval Crime Museum in Rottenburg, Germany, and the other is in the Torture Museum in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Also, there's a gentleman on the YouTube channel, Relics from the Dark Side, who has a video on it. Now, I highly recommend you guys checking that out because you can actually see the proportion of the flute actually on him, and the guy actually sticks his fingers into the clamps, which I think is hilarious, alright? I'll put a link in the description box below. Now, I really think they should bring this back because the amount of rappers nowadays that quote-unquote spit fire need to be punished. So here's a question for you guys. Who are some people that need to wear the Shame Flute? Let me know in the comments below. So that's the story of the medieval Shame Flute. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys want to hear more stories. Also, be sure to check out my previous videos. I'm Alex Lam, and this is Stories of the World.